Don't clear it out first unless it's early in the game. Just start building the Expo and then clear it out. You're much better off for that. So I have my first Mountain Giant out. He's really not that good yet. 2840 damage, 4 armor. So he's a tank. He's got 1600 HP, but he doesn't have his upgrades. So he's not nearly as good. And this is what Cross Ink messages me. Otherwise, I have a easy Breath of Fire, kill all those Zergers. Look at that panda. Look at that. Oh, there we go. And then I come back in and I managed to get one off. And I'm on aim going, Cross Ink, I hate you. You just caused me to lose my TP. And he's like, you should have put an away message up, Nub. And I was like, that's not my fault. You messaged me. So pretty much. Now I'm like getting pretty much sticking with the same mix. I think I switched over to Mountain Giants now. Yeah. Here you go. More Mountain Giants coming. I'm gonna get the next upgrade. I forgot I had a third lore up. Pretty noob on my part, but whatever. Now I'm gonna clear out the expansion. I purposely lose hunts here because I don't think they're gonna end up being any good. Their damage is just so low. It isn't worth keeping them. So I'm just gonna use that instead of killing them myself. Just gonna purposely lose them, creeping out of this camp. Anyway, so basically keep this out. And I get pretty ghosted here. I get level 6 panda off a creep camp. Experienced him for the win. Pretty much. And he has a Archmage, Paladin, Mountain King. So he has a couple scrolls, got a staff. He's got your typical human army. He's only got 4 on gold in top right, but it's because he's at 80 food. He doesn't want to go over. I have 75 food, and pretty much. So now I'm putting down the Expo. Or actually, I should be. I just forgot about it for a bit. So I'm pretty much being a noob. There we go. Put it down. And I'm just saving up my gold, getting the upgrades. And now I'm starting to get all the upgrades in my Hunter's Hall, get some defense and some well upgrade. It's just going to get all those upgrades before you go over 80 food. It's just really not worth it. Anyway. So basically here I TP in, but he's going to be able to kill it anyway. He just has too big of an army. Yeah, those mortars are pretty beastie versus Elf. So he TP's out. He decided to just trade Expos. Pretty much a good call. He probably could have been able to do a little bit of damage, but I had good positioning on those casters. So probably a good decision just TP out. But I have another Expo up in a second, so it really won't make that big of a difference in the long run. 80 food for him again, and 79 for me. And I am making another Mountain Giant. So I'm steadily switching over to pretty much completely Mountain Giants. And if you look now, they did 28 to 40 before, and the first attack upgrade makes it 29 to 47. So it's a pretty good upgrade right there. Also, a few bears, a few dryads, a couple of fairy dragons, but I'm really starting to switch over to Mountain Giants. And I really didn't know how well this would work until in a bit, you'll see. I probably should have gotten a staff, but I had some decent items I wanted to keep. So he basically comes right back over to my expansion because he realizes I'm Elf and I'm just going to expand everywhere I possibly can. So he just comes back over and he kills her up real quick. So I only have one Expo, and I'm pretty much only going to have one Expo for the rest of the game, I do believe. Yeah, I'm only going to have one Expo for the rest of the game. He'll eventually expand in bottom left, so he'll have bottom left, his main, his expansion, and then top right, and I'm still pretty much going to win. That's pretty imbalanced. So I'm at 80 food, got 3 Mountain Giants at this point, and you're pretty much going to see some, 15 minutes of, straight battle. It's pretty insane, because he has, scrolls and heal and staff and stuff, and I just have, Imba units. So you're going to see, a long battle, and now Mountain Giants are doing 30 to 54, so, definitely big upgrade in damage. Yep. So I decided to go over in all Mountain Giants, or in bears actually. Sweet bears and a fairy dragon, and you see a pretty cool battle here. Panda's final is gonna own up. Whenever you have over 225 mana or 220 mana, always do a Breath of Fire and then switch over. It's pretty good. As you can see, my mass melee army is pretty much gonna take down all of his Spellbreakers and his Mountain King. Or no, he staffs Mountain King out. And because the pandas do normal damage, so the armor types really favor them. It gets a lot of damage out of this. And just those Mountain Giants just don't die. They just really do not die because they have that physical upgrade, takes away some damage. Then 6 armor and then medium armor. They just won't die. So basically, I pretty much owned pretty heavily in that battle. 73 food for him now, and a 73 for me, so we're pretty much even. However, he's 73 with a bunch of units being made right now, so it's not exactly equal, but he's putting up some flying machines, and at first I was a bit worried he would mass them up. But if your opponent decides to mass flying machines, then you really just have to get a staff on your panda and start sending him back to your base and owning up some flying machines, because one breath of fire and they're like almost dead. So 2 and they're definitely dead. So it isn't really that good. He probably gets a little bit too money. So he goes over 80 food now. He has 2 expos, he can afford it. 1 expo is getting a little bit low. Main gold mines have been out for a little bit. And now I'm putting out more mountain giants. Putting down another one. 80 food. And actually it's pretty cool because I get to 100 food. And I pretty much just don't need gold anymore. So even though I'm in high upkeep with only 1 expansion, I have like 1,000 gold in reserve. It's pretty sweetness. So we're gonna have another battle here in a bit. I'm trying to keep a good mix, but eventually what I realize is the fairy dragons are just gonna die to the flying machines until a bit later when I've killed them all. And the archers, obviously that was from early game. And the bears get owned by the AoE. He either has retrained to Blizz already, or he's going to retrain to Blizz. Not quite positive. And so it's pretty good combo. Alright, so basically it's just expanding in bottom left. And we're gonna have a pretty sweet battle here, and you're gonna start to see how mountain giants, pretty much own up the battlefield. I actually sent my fairy dragons too far in, they get hit once, and that did a lot of damage actually. And you're gonna see how quickly they die. And we're gonna have a battle, because he's trying to expand, and I'm like, I don't want you to expand. Pretty much. So 700 gold, and pretty soon here I'm gonna start to really switch over. And I know I keep saying that, but God, it owns so hard. This upcoming battle is gonna be sweetness. It's like 5 or 10 minutes long, and it's just like he just can't do enough damage to my mountain giants. Like he just really can't get enough damage to them. And I grabbed an orb because I saw a bunch of flying machines, and I want to have something that can attack them. So other than my breath of fire, I want my hero to be able to put a little bit of damage out there. And here we go. We're gonna have the battle come down here in a second. He lets his Sorks get a little bit too far out in front, and I managed to capitalize on that, killing a number of them. 3. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got 3 Sorks, so I'm just gonna back up a bit. And now it's on. So 74 food for me, 86 for him. He's focusing on stuff using Clap, and I don't know if he has Blizzard yet. If he does, he'll start to use it. I forgot exactly what point in the game he does. Yep, he does. So that hurts my bears a little bit. That barely even phases my mountain giants. It's doing like 40 damage, and 40 damage to a 1,600 HP unit, especially when it's over when it's hitting like my pandas and stuff. That just doesn't help at all. So my front line is just basically owning these breakers up pretty hard, and his heroes, Mountain King goes down, Knight goes down, and he realizes he's gonna have to TP out of here. And basically the Panda's Final in combination with the Mountain Giants really does so much damage to the breakers that you don't have to worry about them. And then any kind of caster, you have Breath of Fire and Chuck and Haze, so it's pretty much GG. If they go air, you have Breath of Fire and Orb, and then you can switch over to Hippos. And if they go Flying Machines or Dragon Hawks, then you can just switch over. If they do Dragon Hawks, then it's a little bit harder. Probably have to switch over to Dryad Hippo and just get some Breath of Fire on that. And if they do Flying Machines, then you're just gonna have to use your Panda, because they pretty much own all your air. So now we're gonna have a little bit more of a transition battle. He realizes he has slow, and Mountain Giants already are pretty damn slow to begin with. So we're just gonna pretty much dance around. He's doing no damage to my units though, so I really don't care. If you look, Spellbreakers do 3 damage when they hit. 3 damage when they hit. Sorks do about 2. Mortars do a few damage. It's really nothing that... No one really does that much damage. It's really the bears that get owned up by the attacks, and I don't even have full upgrades yet. I only have 1 defense upgrade, so it's gonna get a lot worse for him. And I'm gonna start to. At this point, I'm really thinking, man, I don't remember Mountain Giants being this good. I managed to get a pretty nifty surround using his own paladin against him. He's forced to TP out, and the mountain giant gets the last smack in on him, and it takes him down. So down goes the paladin, even though he has 2 Expos. I pretty much killed the bottom left one at this point. He really can't do much, and I'm pretty much owning him up with only 1 expansion. If you look at my food, I am at 78. I'm just saving up for a lot more mountain giants. In a second here, I'm gonna bust it out and go 100 food mountain giants. I have way more than enough gold, or wood, so that really won't matter. I won't need any more wisps or anything. And I'm just basically taking down the expo. So that was a pretty cool battle. You saw like the mountain giants just don't take damage. They just don't. And the panda does so much damage himself that you just don't need anything else. It's just a really good combo. I think I'm gonna start doing this in ladder. I used to do mass tier 1, but I really don't need to anymore. I mean, look, that mountain giant gets out front. He manages to focus his entire army on it. Barely does 200 damage by the time it's back in my rest of my army. Then you factor in that there's 6 of them all taunting. So basically your front line is like attacking different things, and you really can't get good damage going. And it's pretty imbalanced. Basically, I force him out of mortars because mortars just suck versus this. They're really only good for dryads. And then once he has no mortars, I go back into. Or he has no. Or I have no dryads. And then once I kill his mortars, I go back into dryads. So he's I'm just always ahead of him in the counter game. And the spellbreakers were just a really poor idea. They're just getting absolutely owned on the line. And I really should have been using Roar. I really should have been using that. That would have put my DPS up a lot, but I just didn't do it. Although he does have a lot of breakers, so that might have helped him out. But I'm really not too worried about his damage. Whereas a 25% increase for him is like nothing, but for me that's like a good amount. Like that really helps out. So I take down his expansion. I turn on him. I do Roar up now. We have 43 to 73 damage, and that's normal attack, so they do extra breakers, 150%. So you're looking at about 60 to 70%, or 60 or 70 damage from a mountain giant to a breaker, and that's like on the lower end of the damage scale. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna kill these peasants. 100 food for me now. The mountain giant armies are, coming out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mountain giants. Looks like 8 to me. I could be wrong, but I think it's 8. So it's a pretty good number. It's a pretty good number of mountain giants. And now they have 2 armor upgrades, so they take 32% damage reduction. They have medium armor, so they take reduction for everything but breakers and knights. And then you factor in their magic resistance from slow and stuff, so they really aren't that bad units. And then you factor in their physical damage, and I think it does reduces all attacks by 6 damage or something like that. I don't even remember what it is. It might be more than that. I don't know. But it's basically you do no damage to them, and you can't polymorph them or anything because of their upgrade. So you're really kind of stuck. You have to fight them. I think Mass Knight's probably the best way to go versus. Yeah. Probably the best way to go. But even then, I could see that losing because I'll just mix in some more bear. I don't know, man. This is a tough strategy to beat for the human. But that isn't my job. My job is to make it easy for the elf. So now the human's gonna come in, fight a little bit, but it really won't matter because if you look at my side, I have 99 food. I have an expansion, but I really don't have anything to spend my gold on. I think I grab a staff eventually, but not for a bit. And he's just running his workers in the bottom left to get gold because he only has 1 expansion now, so it's even. It's even, and my expansion has more gold left than his do, so he's he's pretty much out of luck. So we have a little bit of battle going down here. Everything's roared. We have insane amounts of damage going on here from the mountain giants. Actually, you know what? Siege. When the mountain giants have siege, they do more damage. So you're getting 37 to 72 damage. Then you add in roar. I'm not exactly sure what that is because I didn't see what it was when they had roar before he stole all the roar. But that is even more damage. So it's really a ridiculous amount of damage here on these mountain giants. And I know there's 7 food, but man, this is good stuff. It's just good stuff. So he's trying to blizzard, but blizzard's doing nothing to my units. It really isn't. I do so